Hello everyone. I have a new office in my house because I'm still working from home. I'm not working from the church, and I've moved upstairs into one of our bedrooms. And on the windowsill I've got these two things. Now I wonder if you know what they are. Does anybody know what this is? It's a lighthouse, and it's faded just a little bit in the sunshine, but it's still a very important thing. And this one, do you know what this one is? Of course, it's a sailing boat, isn't it? So every day I'm looking at these two things because they're on my windowsill as I look out over the view across the countryside. And I've been thinking quite a bit about lighthouses and boats on rivers and seas as well. And do you know, my children, they are all quite grown up now, but one of their favourite stories used to be The Lighthouse Keeper's Lunch. I wonder if you've read this book, have you? If you haven't, and then there's all sorts of other ones. In fact, they love them so much, we've kept the books on our shelf. But a lighthouse is really, really important for stormy weather, when the sea is all rough. I wonder if you could make rough sea with me. Can you do this with your hands? Make rough sea. And the lighthouse shines a light out to show everyone around where the rocks are, and so that the ship mustn't come anywhere near the rocks. But you know, in Jesus's time, they didn't have any lighthouses. They're quite a modern thing. And one day, Jesus's friends were stuck in a boat in a storm. Yeah. Now, Jesus had just fed all those 5,000 people, and he was somewhere else, just resting a little bit. And the disciples got in their fishing boat and started to sail across the lake. But when they were right in the middle of it, a huge storm blew up, and they were rowing and they were trying to get through the storm. Jesus could see where they were from where he was. And you know, he didn't swim to them. He didn't actually even get another boat. Do you know what he did? He walked on the water. Honestly, right on top of the water. He didn't sink down and he didn't swim. He walked on top of the water, because you've got to remember, Jesus was God and Jesus could do amazing miracles. Now, when Jesus's friends first saw him, they thought, whoa, we're scared. There's a man walking towards us. But Jesus called out and said, don't be afraid, it's me. Well, Peter, Jesus's best friend, he said, well, Jesus, if it's you, let me come out and walk on the water towards you too. So Jesus said, okay, Peter, come on then. So Peter got out of the boat and started to walk on the water. And he did it because Jesus was helping him. No way he did it. But then suddenly, he started to look down, and he saw the waves around his ankles, and he heard the wind, and he started to get a little bit scared. And as he got more and more scared, he started to sink. And Jesus said, don't worry, I've got you. And he held out his hand and pulled him up. And he put him back in the boat where he was safe. And Jesus said, oh, Peter, you didn't trust me. You were doing so well. Look, all you had to do was look at me, and I was going to keep you safe. And you know, grown-ups as well, this is not just for the children today. Sometimes we get a bit overwhelmed by the surroundings that we're in. We look at the storm, don't we? And we get a little bit worried about everything that's going on. But you know, just like here, Jesus promises when we look at him, he will keep us safe. He will hold out his hand to rescue us. And that is just such a beautiful promise to remember that it doesn't matter what's going on around us, we can be standing right in the middle of the storm. But when we cry out to Jesus for help, he will come and help us. And I love that. It's the thing that gets me up in the morning and keeps me going, because I truly, truly believe it. And it's almost like Jesus is our lighthouse. He's the one that keeps us safe. He's the one that shows us the way to go. Now, I do hope that you've been down to the church and you've managed to pick up your goodie bag already. Now, if you haven't, please message us just below this, because we've still got some left and we'll get you some. Because we really, really do want you to have one. Because inside, now there's a lot of other goodies in here. I'm not going to show them and spoil the surprise. But inside are all the things for you to make a lighthouse. Now, you've got an empty tube. You have some red and white paper. You have a little bit of black paper, a white circle, a funny looking thing, and a tea light. Now, the things that you're going to need from home, you will need a pair of scissors, a glue stick, and maybe, just maybe, some sellotape to hand, just in case. Now, I'm going to show you what your lighthouse could look like. First of all, can you see? Look, I've dressed like a lighthouse today. Hey, do you know, you could dress like a lighthouse. If you've got a stripy red and white top you could wear, and then maybe you could put a torch on your head and you could be a lighthouse. How cool would that be? Now, take your yellow, your red and your white paper and very carefully sort of just fold them like that into about 3. So you've got 6 pieces. And then you're going to cut down your folds. It doesn't have to be exactly accurate. You can get mummy or daddy to help you with the cutting, but it's not too bad. If you just cut down, so you've got a red and a white one there, and a red and a white one here. Now, can you see what you think I'm going to do? Because lighthouses are nearly always red and white to make them show up. Now, I'm going to start with a red piece, and I'm going to put lots and lots of glue all over my red piece, right to the end. And very carefully, I'm going to put it down at the bottom and make sure the bottom's lined up, and then just roll it around. Because the glue is a little bit sticky, there we go. Look at that, there's your first stripe. Now, if you want to, you could just cut that little bit, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to put my next stripe and cover it over so that all the stripes are in different places. So then, after the red one, you need a white one. So just cover that bit up a little bit. You can overlap just a little bit because you've got enough paper. Yeah, so there's my white stripe. Look at that, it's growing nicely, isn't it? Can you see? So I've got red, white, now I need another red one. Ooh, it's quite a sticky job. You can have fun with this one, I'm sure. So, a little bit. Oops. Might get away with just 3 stripes if I've done it right. There we go. And then finally, another white one. Now, I wonder if you can think, I'm just going to take the lid off, because then I can get this one nice and neat up to the top, look. And then it covers up everything else. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's looking a bit like a lighthouse already. Do you think it is? Now, what else do we need? We need a door, don't we? So you've got a little bit of black paper in. So I think the door will be about that sort of size. But you can make your door any size you want to. You could have a really tiny door. You could have loads of windows. You could do anything. But I'm going to put my door just about here. So you can go in the door there. And then I think it needs some windows, so I'm just going to take this little bit that's left and I'm going to cut that into 4. Now, I wonder where my windows are going to go. I think I can have one there. And where else would I have another window? About here. And one about there. And I think one right at the top to show that he's got in. There we are. Now you can do more windows if you want than that. So that's basically the lighthouse. Now we need the bit at the top. Now, this is going to be your lighthouse bit at the top. So you're going to need the white bit of card and some glue. This is where you might just need a bit of sellotape to hold it down. But that's going to stick on the top like that. And it should stick. Okay, let's make sure it's sort of fairly fairly central. There we go. You might have to hold it just for a little bit to make it stick. And then this bit fits on exactly, but before you do that, take out the little bit of your tea light, and then you can put your tea light on. Look at that. And then there is your lighthouse, and that just sits on nicely on top of that, and then you can take it out. Look at that. It's your lighthouse. You've got your very own lighthouse. Now, what we would love you to do is to make this, and why don't you put your lighthouse in your front window so that everybody walking past can see that you've got a lighthouse in your window, and they might even say to you, why have you got a lighthouse in your window? And you can say to them, well, I made it from Noah's Ark. And we've been thinking about how Jesus is like a lighthouse because he shows us what's safe and he keeps us away from danger. Now, in your pack as well, there's a song called My Lighthouse. And I'm going to post a video so that you can actually sing along and learn the actions for that song. And there's also all sorts of other things that you can do as a family. There are all sorts of light things that you can do all over half term. So why don't you make sure you come and get a bag from us and have a go at making a lighthouse, and then get mummy or daddy to take a photo of your lighthouse and post it just below so that we can all see everybody's lighthouses. It's going to be such a good week, and I look forward to seeing your lighthouses. Let's just pray before we stop. Jesus, we thank you that you are like a lighthouse. You are really safe. You keep us safe when things seem to be going wrong and a real storm around us. Help us to look to you like Peter looked to you and ask for help when we need it. Thank you, Jesus, for always being there for us. Amen. Amen. Have a really fun time making your lighthouse. Bye.